Get the camera guy wet. Gotta get the camera guy wet. Oh wait, you don't have a waterproof camera. RC drivers, I had to come right out to the lake with this new release. Check it out, it's ProBoat's new Super Sonicwake. This thing's already attracting an audience. Let's get this thing out of the box. Really excited for this one. Oh, check out the size of this boat. So coming up in the video, RC drivers, I'm gonna run the boat here on the lake. Supposedly this goes 50 miles an hour. Can't wait to see it. I'm also gonna tell you everything you need to know about the boat. So let's head back to the workshop now so we can go over all the details. Here it is, guys, the Super Sonicwake 48 out of the box. And I think technically this is the world's biggest self-riding fast electric deep V boat. This thing is an absolute giant. It's taking up the entire workbench. It looks significantly bigger than the Sonicwake 36, and it even looks huge next to the Blackjack 42. If you can't take your eyes off the boat and you gotta have it now, I'll have links for it in the video description. Let's take a closer look at the hull now. It's an ABS hull and it is a really rigid hull. They got some inner structure on the inside to help support everything. The decals that you see here on the side are just super vibrant. It's gotta look really good on the water, but the canopy is actually printed. I just love the look of the boat. I mean, it looks super fast just standing still. You got your standard deep V shape that's going to help keep this boat stable in the water. The big thing about the hull design here is the self-righting feature. So I'm going to spin this thing around so you can see it. You got these holes here on the side of the boat. And so when you go and flip this boat over, you're going through some waves, whatever, just driving it really hard, you flip it over. These holes are going to start filling a tunnel on the inside of the boat with water, and that's what's going to go and flip it over and self-right it. And then once it's self-righted, these holes out here are going to let the water out of the back of the boat. Really cool design. Again, it's on the Sonicwake 36, proven to work really well. That's why that boat is a real favorite among boat enthusiasts. And now while I have the boat spun around, we could check out all this aluminum running hardware out back. Check, this is very cool looking setup. So we've got turn fins. They are knife edge. They are adjustable. That's awesome to see. You also got some trim tabs here. They got an aluminum brace support up top. Then if you look down to the stuffing tube exit here, you got these LED lights. Yeah, a boat with LED lights on the transom, that's just totally weird. But what this does is it actually lights up the spray of the water. I think it's gonna look really cool if you're driving it at dusk. We'll see how it does during the day, but that's just a neat extra feature that they have on this. And then next to it, this is awesome. Look at the strut assembly. So you got aluminum brackets, 3 bolts on each side holding it to the transom. You got your brass stuffing tube coming out the back, and then the strut here, it's got a free-floating bushing on the inside, and look, there is your grease fitting. You can go and get one of the ProBoat marine greasers, stick it in there, and just grease that bushing on the inside. Flex shaft, of course, and it's got a nylon stuffing tube, large metal prop, very cool, double nut on that. Then back up to the rudder bracket, it's notched so it's got clearance for the steering tie rod. It's even notched in the back here, so it is a breakaway style rudder. Bushings in that, so it's gonna turn nice and free, and then you got your knife edge rudder. It's got a little protective rubber cap for transport. It's got the 2 inlets for the cooling. So the boat's cutting through the water. Water's got to get forced into those holes here and up into the cooling tubes. And as you can see, it's got dual tubes. Then it's got a tether drain plug, of course. I like that they started including these. There's your steering push rod, rubber boot on that. And then here are the exits here. So the water's got to shoot up and out of the water from the cooling system, so you know that's operational. I like that they're putting it on top now. When it's on the side, sometimes you don't see if it's actually cooling or not. And if it's blocked up, you want to be able to see that. Okay, so the canopy now has these quarter turn spin clips. So you just do quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn, and your canopy will come up. And they even have foam on the inside of that, very cool. And they've got a foam liner around the top of the deck here to help seal off that canopy. Now you can check out the internals. Up front, they've got that foam block system. Again, it provides some structure for the front, it provides flotation, and then they've got that inner skeleton setup. I mean, look at all the rigid structure in there, even for the deck as well, so the deck isn't going to flex. And then up front, they got their SSL system. Totally awesome seeing that. Makes battery changes super easy, and then these trays just lock in, you Velcro your battery down. Then behind it, another cool thing that they've been doing, they have brackets for the icy battery plugs, so they're just not flopping around. You plug plug your battery right in, so much better. Those are of course attached to a Spectrum Smart Technology speed controller. 160 amp marine speed controller, water cooled. Look at the size of the caps on that thing. You got a set button on the side, and there's your on off button. Everything is secured, bolted down. Then right behind that is the Spectrum 950 kV motor, aluminum water cooling jacket on that. Inside the waterproof receiver box is the Spectrum S315 receiver, and then they have their large scale S905 servo that has metal gears, massive servo horn on it. Just back to the motor really quick. So it's got an aluminum motor mount, looks like a nice secure bracket down to inner skeleton, and then they even have a cover over there so you don't get grease flying out of the stuffing tube all over the inside of the boat, like that little protective cover, kind of your standard coupler, and again, you got your stuffing tube going out through the back. You can even see the wires there going out to the LED lights, and it looks like they've got some transom bracing as well. Man, such a cool looking boat. Also included inside the box, you're going to get your Spectrum DX3 radio. This has telemetry. You'll see the battery voltage here on the side lit up by these LED lights. They give you the extra SSL battery tray, which is awesome. Even extra Velcro straps for that, some basic tools, antenna cap, instruction manual, and a little ProBoat floaty. All right, startup is a go. Easy quick lock, loving that. Blue light check, looks all awesome. Get this thing fired up. Take it easy this way. Here we go. There's full throttle. Oh man. Too much ripple in the water, we crashed it. Let's just see how fast it went on that. 46 on that run before the crash. All right, let's do another run. Not the same run that time. I don't know if it hit the 50. Of course, the batteries are in the stock position, so if we move it back a little bit, get more boat out of the water, we might hit that speed. But let's see what we got. 45, 46 right out of the box. Not too bad. So we went past in the opposite direction and got up to 47 miles an hour. So that's straight out of the box with zero battery movement or any tuning. So that's pretty good. Just 3 miles an hour off that 50 mile an hour mark. Another round of packs through the boat. Can't get enough of this thing. This is where it's at. Just go big, large scale, 8S power. Look at the spray off of that boat. Some figure eights. Nice and stable in the corners, drops down, gets right back up on plane. Look at that, rocket. Coming at you, absolutely sick. A little scary. Around the boat. Say hi, Paul. Nice bang turn, look at that. Awesome. Problem is we haven't tested this self-righting yet. I wonder if I could get this thing to roll over. I'm gonna cut it really hard and nope. Oh, it's such a tank. Can't get it to flip over. Let's try one more time. Nope, just spins right out. It's just smooth the other direction. See, this is a nice smooth turn here. It's the right turn. Oh, dude, that was sick. That was so awesome. Since I can't seem to flip the boat on the water, I'm gonna show you how the self-righting works. So just flip it over like that. And that pod's filling up. Look, I didn't even have to do anything. It's a little hard to see those blue lights during the day. That's pure excitement right there. Nice easy turns. And I get the battery warning. We'll keep it close. And there we go. So it just drops off like this, and you can blip it back to shore. Look at that, perfect. Any day behind the wheel of a large scale model is pretty much guaranteed to be an epic day. The size, the sound, the power, it's a very cool experience. And with the Super Sonicwake, there was definitely no exception. Had an awesome time on the lake and actually had a better time driving back on the pontoon boat to the docks. A quick shout out to my friend Paul for taking me out on his pontoon boat. But when we were headed back, and I'm gonna overlay some footage here, I had an awesome time just jumping this thing off the pontoon boat's wake. I mean, I was really abusing this thing, sending it up into the air, crashing down, barrel rolling, and then, you know, the self-righting feature would flip it back over and I'd shoot up the wake again and do it all over. Absolute blast. This thing is a beast. It's got a lot of power. When you go throw it in the water initially, it is a heavy boat, so it's not gonna jump up on plane instantly. It's gonna take a little bit of space to get up and going, but once you do, it is fast. So we hit 47 miles an hour with it, with zero tuning, I keep saying that. And you know, if you go tune it, I'm pretty sure you're gonna hit that 50-mile-an-hour mark. In fact, I know my friend Mr. Mad, he hit 50 miles an hour from what I've heard, and I bet you Ironclad RC, I know he's got one. He probably tuned it as well. Definitely check out their channels if you want to see the top speeds, and they probably even went faster with it. But anyway, the thing is a monster as far as speed goes for its size. It steers really well. It steers better in one direction with the way the rudder's set up. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're carving your corners, but it does corner really well. It's nice and settled in the corners. I got in a little bit of trouble with going through the ripples of the bigger boats that were going through the water. It was a busy day out on the lake. It was like 98 degrees out, so it was really hot as well. I was dying out there, but it was all worth it to drive this boat. I think a lot of people have been waiting for a large-scale deep V. ProBoat went and took it up a notch, made it self-righting, absolutely killer. So a couple of more things that you need to know about it. I didn't mention before, as far as what you're gonna need to get this thing up and running, you're gonna need two 4S batteries and a charger. Now, this is set up right out of the box for the 5,000 milliamp batteries, so those will drop right into the trays. And then I found out those extra trays were actually larger trays, and that is for the 10,000 milliamp Basher battery pack, so you get a lot more runtime out of it. And I was getting, when I was really on it, I was getting a little over 5 minutes, and when I was kind of throttling back and forth, I was getting like 6 to 7 minute runtimes out of the packs that I brought with me. So if you want more runtime, definitely go for those larger 10,000 milliamp packs. You're gonna need two of those. And if you do go to use the larger tray, you have to take out the adapter tray that's inside the boat here. The only kind of complaint I have about the boat is the rudder bracket seems to be on a little bit of an angle for me. So when you're looking looking at your boat when you take it out, check for that. When I was out on the water, I had to go and really trim the steering out to get this thing to go straight. And actually, I found out later on that I was compensating for it still not going straight. You may have to adjust the steering tie rod a little bit in order to get the boat to go straight. That's my only little complaint about it. And you know, again, it's going to need a little bit of tuning to go and hit that 50-mile-an-hour mark, but it's definitely capable, I think, of doing it. Awesome release. I found out the price for you guys, $699.99. I'm actually recording this the day before it goes live, and just got that information. So I think that is actually a pretty good deal. The Blackjack 42 is $649. So for 50 bucks more, you're getting a bit larger of a boat, and it is self-riding. Absolutely awesome. Let me know what you think about it in the video description below. I'll have links there.